Bangladesh, 160 million people, one of the most densely populated places on earth, but fewer and fewer left in the countryside.
There is a great deal of poverty still in the rural areas, though it is by no means as intense as it used to be. We're going straight over Bridge.
60 kilometres northeast of Dhaka is Rishipara, where for the past 20 years renowned researcher Stuart Rutherford has studied the financial lives of the poor.
Oh, so this was his primary school, yeah? He was educated here. So Rajib has seen this huge development, improvement in his little village in his lifetime. When I asked him what he thinks is the main reason for that, he says it's largely remittance money.
Rajib is a student and the eldest son of his family. A few months ago, he started using bKash, a new mobile money service offered by BRAC Bank, to receive money from his uncle who's working in Dhaka.
People talk a lot about the inflow of foreign remittance coming into Bangladesh, but we, I think, underestimate the amount of domestic remittance that takes place.
This is Joshim, the agent in Rajib's local market, one of over 85,000 bKash agents people use to send and receive money throughout the country.
From here, money goes in both directions. So there's money going out from here to Dhaka, but also to the villages. There's money coming in here.
In just 2 years, bKash has become the main part of Joshim's business, eclipsing airtime sales. Mobile money transfers are spreading rapidly across the country. There are millions of transactions a month and thousands of new accounts opened every day.
Okay, so he says it doesn't actually take long to open an account.
Opening the account free, money.
Which is free to the customer. So these in the last 2 weeks in a small market like this. So that looks like quite rapid growth, no?
For many people, use of bKash is perhaps the first adoption of any kind of formal financial service.
It brings a lot more people into the financial sector.
Bottu. This is a gentleman sending money to his village home. He's a recycling agent. Now he's phoning his brother to tell him the money is coming. Huh? Before he started using bKash, he had to go physically himself. Oh.
A round trip home would cost him 700 taka. bKash is 35 times cheaper.
So he says his business is going pretty well. And he's a general recycling agent. He'll recycle anything.
Bhutto and Mr. Ali are part of this group of men who left their families in Jamalpur in the north in search of a better life. Here they earn between 100 and 500 taka a day, up to about $7, working long hours 7 days a week.
It's a busy life, it's hard work, working all day long. He works from early in the morning till late at night. He really only eats twice a day. He has to work with all this filthy stuff. So he thinks of himself as a poor person. It's not just that they want to send the money to the village, they also want to get it out of here so it doesn't get stolen or lost.
Yes.
Kubalo. So that's a kind of quasi-savings thing. It's part of getting the money out of your own pocket.
We think it can do a lot for financial inclusion, mainly in terms of reaching financial services to remote rural areas which are difficult for other institutional financial providers to reach just because of the cost structures.
Here in Dhaka, one of the symptoms of all that migration, some of the worst traffic in the world. The order is for 200,000 sweaters for export to China, 15,000 green. Mohammeda Begum, one of millions of garment factory workers here, is in charge of repairs at Tanha Sweaters and one of the growing number that use bKash to send money to family in the villages.
bKash ভালো সুবিধা দিচ্ছে মানে এখন আমি টাকা এখন আমার জরুরি দরকার এখন টাকা পাঠাবো কিন্তু এখন সাথে সাথে টাকাটা পাওয়া যাচ্ছে এটাই
There is a series of values that you start seeing, but primarily it's the speed, convenience, safety.
Mohammed Salamuddin takes a detour from the Dhaka traffic. He uses the same agent each time he sends money to his family in Shirkur because he trusts him. He's illiterate, and so rather than having his own account, he relies on the agent to help him complete the transaction.
7836.
He heard about bKash on the street.
And it's a very common term today that bKash karo, okay, which is bKash me. That means send me money.
Today, nearly a quarter of the adult population has experienced bKash, and as services like bill pay and payroll have expanded, bKash has captured nearly 80% of the market share.
We're growing at a rate which is quite phenomenal. Now we're starting to think about what additional services we can add on, what layers we can add on to that. So savings, credit, all the other things that will come in.
At the moment, we're doing the sort of base one aspect of financial inclusion, which is just getting more names involved, getting more people opening wallets and opening accounts. But as we build all the services on top of those, then by the very nature of the service, they will become very, very quickly widespread.
So you're actually allowing a much larger percentage of the population to access a lot more types of financial products, which allows them to manage their money better, manage their lives better. So I think it has, in the longer term, potentially a big impact on the economy of Bangladesh, and particularly the rural economy.